Hello, everybody. This is my presentation for the Digital First Fair. A very warm welcome. Thank you for participating. I'm going to present to you a few ways of how StepStone uses technology to find good candidates. And that means this presentation is going to be interesting for three groups of people. The first group, of course, is the professional recruiters who are looking and finding people on a daily basis. The second group is people who are interested in technology, as the technology presented here has a broader scope than just the recruitment market alone. And the third and final group is by far the largest one because it literally contains everybody. At some point in your life, you too will be looking for a job. It might be interesting to have this information when you have to do so. To guide us through this story, I would like to introduce you to Jonas. Jonas is a real person, by the way. He works for StepStone as a digital marketeer. But in some way, there is a Jonas in each and every one of us. Let's start with a few introductions. StepStone is a website for jobs. In Belgium, we are the market leader. We make sure that people find good jobs and that companies find good candidates, and we're really good at that. That success didn't come overnight. There's more than 24 years of experience behind it. In Belgium, we serve our customers from two offices, in Brussels and in Kortrijk, but we also have a strong international presence. Worldwide, there are over 3,000 StepStoners. And I would also like to introduce myself. My name is Steven, and I have more than 20 years of experience in training and development. I'm one of the fortunate people who gets to travel the world to visit all of our offices. So I'm a constant globetrotter. That's to say, before COVID arrived. So now I will take you on a journey, and this journey is actually Jonas's journey. Because Jonas is looking for a new job, and companies are looking for Jonas. Finding Jonas is always a three-step process. The first step is acquisition, tracking down all the possible Jonases wherever they might be. As you can imagine, this step is going to connect us to a lot of people. So logically, the next step has to be a matching process. If you're looking for people in your company, you don't want 5,000 CVs to come your way. You only want the right CVs. And that is the process of matching, not just connecting to people, but connecting to the right people for the job. The third and final step is delivering. We need to make sure that this connection actually leads to something. We have to make sure that people apply. A three-step process. Let me take you through it in a bit more detail. The acquisition step, or in other words, catching Jonas. The first step is in reality about traffic. How do we get the candidates to StepStone? How do we make sure that people see your ad? As you know, we still find ourselves in a candidate-driven market. There is scarcity, which means that for most of the open positions, the number of applications is key. Sometimes the best candidate might not be looking for a job, at least not in an active way. And that's why we develop traffic tools to reach active as well as passive candidates. Catching Jonas is not an easy job otherwise. You might ask yourself why you haven't seen any StepStone ads on TV lately. Well, there's a very good reason for that. We prefer to invest in traffic because we want to make sure that you reach the relevant candidates, active or passive. We have a lot of channels to help us catch Jonas, and this balanced traffic mix is what makes us effective and independent from a single source. Here are two examples. In terms of SEA, we are able to bid on more than 68,000 different keywords with tools to optimize our positions and CPCs in real time in relation to our current job inventory. In terms of partners, we developed a technology that allows us to bid in the most price-effective way with more than 100 partners on a daily basis. This is a tool that is truly unique in the market, and it allows us to invest more money into the difficult-to-find profiles. Through technology like this, we are able to give our ads the reach they need to be successful. We connect companies with Jonas's. This morning, we caught Jonas on Politico. He was not looking for a job. He was simply reading the news on his mobile in the subway. And we caught his attention and took him to our website. Time for step number 2, matching Jonas. Once Jonas arrives on StepStone, we want to make sure that he finds his ideal job. Our search experience has radically changed over the last couple of years. We've gone from a simple category search to a search algorithm based on machine learning, simply because that makes the matching process much more accurate. Today, 70% of searches on StepStone are powered by this artificial intelligence, and that number will continue to grow in the future. What does that mean? It means that our technology is capable of understanding a job title where our competitors only see a list of keywords. It means that search terms are enhanced by including synonyms and that we can automatically correct spelling mistakes as well. And it even goes beyond that. A search for personal assistant to the CEO will not yield results for positions for CEO because that simply wouldn't make sense. Or another example, we know that people who are looking for a senior management position are more willing to travel if it means getting the job they're really after. And that is why we are capable of automatically enlarging the default sales radius for jobs like that. Making the right connection between jobs and candidates is very important. Jonas did a search for product managers without specifying the location or his relevant skills for that matter. So what's really on his mind? It happens more than you would think. 1 out of 5 searches is a search without keywords. So, in order to deal with this lack of information, StepStone created the 360-degree profile to get you better and more personalized results. We also use the explicit and implicit data for the job alerts. In the past, we used only 5 data points, such as job title and location. But in the latest version of the 360-degree profile, we take 14 data points into account, including skills and previous job search criteria, for example. It resulted in us sending fewer emails to candidates and at the same time in a spectacular uplift in applications. We register over 40% more interactions per mail we are sending because the jobs are more relevant to the candidates. Today, after research in the subway, Jonas received a job offer by email for a product owner vacancy. Bilingual Dutch-French, based in Brussels. It's perfect. Jonas is going to apply. We already talked about 2 steps. There is a lot of people you need to get in touch with to increase your chances of success. That's the acquisition step. And then you need to make sure that you can link up with the right people, not just with anybody, with the right talent for your job. So you need a good matching system. Now it's time for the final step, making sure Jonas actually applies. StepStone has evolved, and so have many of our customers. More and more customers use an ATS, an applicant tracking system, It's a piece of software that helps companies manage their candidates. In the past, what happened very often is that every ATS asked the candidate to enter all of their data again and again. You can imagine that this takes a lot of the candidate's time. The profiles that are the hardest ones to find, your best candidates in other words, have the highest probability of dropping out and never finishing the application. So what we did is connect our systems with our customers' ATS, and everything became very simple. Jonas clicks on the apply button, and we take all the information we already have on Jonas and push it to the ATS of the company Jonas is applying with. This gives you a fast application process, plus it improves the experience for the candidate. It reduces the dropout rate and it's optimized for all devices. So even on a smartphone, on your way to your favorite coffee bar, applying for a job has never been so easy. So there you have it. 3 steps. Wait, let's make that 4. Delivering the application is not our final step. We recently added a 4th step into Jonas's journey, and that's screening. A step that will facilitate the selection procedure in many ways. The past year has forced companies to shift to remote and novel ways of working, and many organizations have learned the hard way that agility is critical for their survival. The COVID-19 pandemic gave us a new perspective on some work-related questions. People ask, why should I take an entire day off for a 1-hour job interview? Well, there is absolutely no need. Screening CVs is a thing of the past. Video interviews are the future. Companies are offered a clear choice: evolve or struggle to find the right candidates in the future. There are 4 reasons why video interviews are the future. Instead of calling tens of candidates for a first screening interview, you can now directly select the top candidates by sending them up to 3 recorded questions. This way, you can quickly assess their language skills, their presentation skills, their technical knowledge, or even if they are a good match with your company culture. Using pre-recorded questions allows you to provide a fair process for all and to score, compare, and assess candidates in a non-biased way. You have an array of opportunities to allow candidates to experience your company. The candidate can be personally welcomed by the hiring manager or the CEO to create an on-brand experience from the start. You can also ask questions based on your company values to give the candidate an impression of the company he or she is applying for. The use of the video interview tool is naturally in accordance with the current data protection regulations. Long story short, this is the face of a candidate when he finds the right job. This is why we do it. Happy candidates and happy employers. Finding the right job for everybody through technology. Thank you for your attention. Oh, and come say hello on the chat or via the conversation starter platform. We're more than happy to answer all your questions.